Okay, so approved, not a project charter, guys. It is a approved project charter. That is, approved is an important word. So approved project charter must be completed at the end of the defined phase, along with the site walk. Okay, what is the outcome of the measure phase? Guys, what is the outcome of the measure phase? Yes, what is the outcome of the measure phase, guys?
GRR
MSA
percentage.
collected.
Sorry?
MSA.
GRR percentage.
PRR is the measurement system analysis. Okay, it is a measurement system analysis, okay, which helps you to check the capability of your measuring system. Okay, that is one step in the measure phase. What is the outcome?
Baseline performance. Baseline performance.
Yes, very good. The baseline performance of your process is calculated, determined, identified during the measure phase. So what do you understand from the baseline performance? With the help of current baseline performance, we are able to find the gap difference between the existing performance, that is the current performance, as well as the target which you have fixed 3 months before during the during the start of the year. Okay, so we are able to find the gap in the performance. Okay, performance gap. That gap needs to be identified. Sometimes you may have fixed the rejection percentage as 7 or 5 in the define phase in the pain statement. But when you check in the baseline performance measure, the rejections or the defect percentage might be more than what you have written. So obviously that helps you to come to a conclusion that the percentage of rejections and the loss which your process is incurring is more than what you have perceived earlier. Okay, so measure phase is very vital. So already we have discussed about this last week also. And the important thing about measure phase, the criticality of measure phase lies in the data collection. So how you have to collect data, guys? You have to collect data
Error free.
without errors. You have to collect data without errors. So what will happen if you collect data with errors? Do you remember the video, cricket video? So what will happen, guys?
Wrong decision will be taken.
Yes, we will make wrong decisions. And one more thing is, what will happen if you collect incorrect data or data with error? One more error, one more thing which we have to remember. The second image on the same cricket. Yes, guys, you don't remember it? That is?
Well, we cannot predict about future.
Yes, if you collect data with error, the prediction, the projections, or the assumptions which you are doing regarding the process also will be error one. So it is important you collect the data without error. Okay, so first two phases we have completed the first two phases. Okay, define and measure. So in the define phase, we are listing the projects. That is, we are collecting the listing out the projects. Then we are selecting the project using Pareto. Then we are finalizing the project charter. Then in the improve phase, in the measure phase, you are finalizing the CPQ and you have to develop a data collection plan for that. Okay, then you go and check the measurement system, whether the measurement system is reliable, okay, adequate enough. Then based on the data collected, then you go ahead and calculate the baseline performance. What are the baseline performance you are aware of? Yesterday we saw some, last week we calculated one. What are the baseline performance, guys?
DPMO, sigma level, CP, CPK.
Yes. Very good. Then yesterday we saw some, right? What is that? First pass yield, traditional yield. Yes, rolled throughput yield. Okay. So all these things are calculated in the measure phase. then you are able to find out the gap, performance gap, okay, between the performance, current performance and the top. So now we came to a conclusion. Yes, actually, there is a problem indeed in the process because the data proved it, the baseline performance proved it. Now it's time for you, okay, to get into the analyze phase. Time for you to get into the analyze phase. Yes, there is some messages here. Yes, Vijay Lakshmi, good evening. Okay. Now, what we are going to do in the analyze phase? What are the steps in the analyze phase? What are the tools we are going to deal in the analyze phase? Let us see it one by one. See, first, we have to list out the possible X factors. What is mean by possible X factors? That is called the possible causes. See, for example, we had a coffee. Okay, the coffee was not good. The coffee taste was not good. So, what is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? Yes, guys. What is the reason for the poor taste of the coffee?
Coffee
More,
powder.
Raw material,
more
raw
sugar.
material
Coffee
issue,
powder,
process issue.
See, you have to
milk
say,
taste.
yes, milk may be higher or lower.
Coffee powder.
More sugar.
Coffee powder may be higher or lower. Then sugar may be higher or lower. No sugar. Then
Having temperature.
Heating.
Mixing the decoction.
it is coffee powder, right? Okay, mixing is not done properly. Then
Temperature.
Temperature.
temperature may be higher or lower. Then, yes. Then water may be added. Say water has to be added. So water also may be higher or lower. Yes. Then suppose the man who is making the coffee is not skilled enough to do it properly. See, just for poor taste of the coffee, just for the poor performance of a coffee, you are able to list out 14 causes, guys. Just for the poor taste of the coffee, just for poor performance of a coffee, we are able to list out 14 causes, 14 possible causes. So similarly, you have to list out the possible causes which may be creating that problem or may not be. You don't have to worry about in step one. See, for example, a student is not performing well in the class. What could be the reason? Yes, guys, what could be the reason? Come on, guys. You didn't. Are you guys there? Am I disconnected from the group?
Yes.
You are there, right? So your son or daughter or brother or sister is not performing well in the class, for example. So what could be the reason?
Not going to the classes properly.
He might not be attentive in the class.
They are not
So may
focused
not be
enough.
attending the class. Yes, then
They are not focused enough. The subject.
not focused. Okay.
Or not
Teaching
having
method maybe not.
particular subjects.
Maybe
Not adequate study hours.
not doing the study
Not
hours. Not
not having
the
interest also. Not
okay.
having interest also.
Having no interest in studies. Yes, that might be also the reason.
Study material is not good.
Study material is not available. Very good. Five. We got 5 classes. Yes, more. Then
Some health issues.
health issues. Yes, very good. Then
Focus
Syllabus
and
is very
distraction.
tough.
syllabus looks quite tough, difficult for him to understand.
Focus and distractions.
Focus and distractions. Yes, very good.
Quality of training is less.
Yes, quality of training provided by the schools. Yes, then
Communication gap.
suppose yes, communication. Suppose if he is not able to understand the language properly, language barrier. Okay, then stress, poor concentration. Suppose he
Atmospheric.
is yes, atmosphere in the sense. Suppose he is the environment which he is learning is not conductive. If it is not encouraging him, that is also maybe a reason. Okay, then poor time management. You can have it like that. Poor time management. Then one more important problem which is existing for all people nowadays, all students nowadays. What is it, guys?
Social media.
Yes, excessive usage of mobile phones and social media. Okay. Then when it comes to faculty, if the teaching is not proper and insufficient subject knowledge of the faculty, lack of student interaction, okay, then poor classroom management or limited improper mentoring. Suppose when it comes to curriculum related issues, suppose the syllabus is overloaded, as you said earlier, then course content if it is difficult, suppose if the curriculum is outdated, and suppose if the course doesn't have sufficient practical exposure, and suppose if there is a mismatch between the course outcome and the assessments. So these faculty related factors also can be responsible. Then when it comes to assessment related factors, poor exam preparation. If he is not preparing for exams poorly, then inadequate assessment at every levels. Suppose if the evaluation is not clear, okay. Suppose if the feedback taken about the evaluation process, if it is not proper, then suppose regarding the learning resources, suppose no books available, poor internet connectivity, so he is not able to access the internet, then inadequate facilities, laboratories, outdated softwares, insufficient learning materials. Okay, then regarding institution infrastructure, classrooms, poor size of classrooms. Okay, as you said, environment of institution. Okay, remedial class, lack of monitoring, insufficient academic supporting services. Then when it comes to family, also financial difficulties. So many such possible reasons, causes can be listed. Okay, so that is what we are going to do in the step 7, first step of the analyze phase. So in the analyze phase, first step, we are not going to say this is the root cause. We are just going to list out every possible cause that may be connected with that particular problem. Are you guys got it? You guys got it, guys? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So don't
Yes,
come
sir.
to the conclusion in the first step regarding the root cause. Okay, so first you list out every possible cause. Then you identify the potential causes. What are the potential causes? See, if you list out the potential causes and the poor uh, performance of the students, we can say some like poor attendance, lack of regular studying habits, he doesn't study properly. Then whether if he is not having sufficient foundation about the particular course, okay, then suppose excessive mobile usage, okay, then ineffective time management, and fear of examination, inadequate facilities in colleges for student interaction, financial problems of the family, poor communication skills. See, this can be listed as some of the potential factors. Potential factors are the one which can influence, which can create such a problem. There is a chance of create these potential factors or potential causes have the capability, ability to create such causes, to create such problems. Okay. So first we are listing the possible causes. Next we are listing the potential causes. Then we are going to identify the root cause along with the sufficiency factors. What are the sufficiency factors? What is called as sufficiency factors, guys? Yes, what is sufficiency factors? Is anybody?
We have sufficient evidence of that factor being considered as a cause of the issue.
For example, already you have identified the cause, main cause and root cause. Okay. Then what is the need for sufficiency factors?
To make sure whether that is the real reason for that things happens.
So need to do simulation with process.
See, actually, we have listed the possible causes, then we have listed the potential causes, then we have identified the root cause also. Now, whether this particular root cause alone is responsible, or if there is anything more which initiates, which influences, like a catalyst. Okay, so sometimes, for example, let us say a student may not be studying well. The reason may be, okay, the student is not coming to the class properly. But when you explore it, some of the students are body shaming him, or some of the students are mocking him severely in the classrooms. So, on fear to avoid that, in fear of that, he is not attending the classes. So, actually, the poor performance root cause is connected with the attendance. He is not coming to the class properly. But another influencing factor which creates a poor attendance is the fellow students or the friends are body shaming him. They are mocking him over certain issues. So he is fearful, he is scared of attending the classes. So that thing is a sufficiency factor. So even if you try to correct the attendance, he will be still scared and he will not be able to concentrate on his studies. So the same problem will occur once again. So we need to identify what are the factors which, apart from the root cause, are influencing or initiating or igniting, okay, are creating, okay, are triggering that particular root cause. Got it, guys? So that is called verifying the sufficiency factors. Okay, so the main outcome of the analyze phase is a validated root cause. What does mean by validated root cause, guys? Anybody? Validated root cause. Yes,
It's
guys, come on.
verified that the root causes are verified. That they are the
Oh,
one
then
which
we
is
can say
causing.
verified root cause. Then we can say verified root cause, right? Why we have to say validated?
If you introduce that cause, then the process should show the deviation.
Valid.
See, validation is a sense. First, you are going to identify the root cause. Okay. Then you are collecting the data and you are confirming the cause. How? See, for example, father,
By
okay, let us
questioning
say,
and interviewing.
see, for example, uh, all of you know about Mr. Prabhakaran, sir. Okay, Mr. Prabhakaran is coordinating you for this program, right? To join this program. So, Mr. Prabhakaran is making a statement. So, once you study this training program, it will help you to improve your career. It will help you to identify problems in the process. It will help you to improve the process. That is what he says. Okay, so he is um, giving you a statement. He is giving you a claim. The claim is this training program will help you to improve your career in a better manner, or get promotions, or get increments, or whatever it is, or it will create a ability to handle projects. That is what he claims. Okay, that is a root cause. But let us say that is a statement. After 3 months or 6 months, he contacts you, and all of you are able to achieve better positions, increments, promotions. You are able to handle projects. So the data which he collected after that statement proves that the data was real. That is called validation. That is called validation. For example, recently there was a claim that E20 is not the cause for poor performance of the vehicle. Guys, do you know this, right? E20 petrol. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Guys,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
so whether the E20 is a cause or not cause, it doesn't matter now. Okay. But we are trying to find out, we are trying to validate it, how the poor performance of the vehicle is connected to E20 vehicle. Okay, so how to validate it? See, first, that is the root cause. E20 is responsible for the poor performance. Okay, then we have to collect data. We have to collect data. What data? We have to collect data. For example, if there are nearly some 10 lakh vehicles in Delhi, you have to collect at least from 10% of the vehicles, 1 lakh vehicles. Okay. So that statement has to be supported by data and testing. Okay. It has to be supported by and testing. So what you have to test? You have to test the vehicle under identical conditions using E10 and E20. If the fuel economy, engine power, accelerations, emissions, and engine temperature, all this data has to be collected. And you have to analyze the report statistically using some hypothesis testing. So based on that, you will be able to confirm, you'll be able to validate that the statement is correct. That is, E20 is a validated root cause for poor performance of a vehicle. So first you make the claim, the statement, you claim the root cause, then you collect data and you do analysis using hypothesis testing. And based on that, you validate whether that data is true or not. Got it, guys? Are we clear about it? Validation. So at the end of the analysis phase, you are going to get a validated root cause. That means the root cause is not identified just based on qualitative tools. It is going to be confirmed by data which supports it. The data which was collected was analyzed, and that data confirms the statement was true. So that is called validated root cause. Are you guys able to understand it? Clear?
Yes. Yes.
No?
Yes.
Okay, so next you have a list of tools. So what are the tools you can use? Brainstorming, OIV analysis, cause and effect diagram. Okay, then you want to validate potential causes for identifying the potential causes. You can use the impact control matrix, then scatter plot for finding the affinity between the cause and the problem, root cause and the problem. Then to confirm, to validate the root cause, you have to use the hypothesis. In that you have null hypothesis, alternate hypothesis, okay, p-value, that is type 1 error, type 2 error, and testing the data by testing of averages, testing of proportions, that is called testing of percentages. So you can use it. Then further, in order to verify the sufficiency, you can use correlation analysis and regression analysis also. So these tools are going to help you to identify the possible cause, confirm the potential cause, validate the root cause. Okay. Now let's move into the tools. How to list out the possible causes. Brainstorming. So brainstorming is used in the initial stage of the analyze phase. We are using this brainstorming to list out the possible causes. Just in the beginning of this session, we did a brainstorming, right? What brainstorming we did? I asked what is the reason for the poor taste of the coffee? You people said yes, sir, this, that, and all. Okay, milk, coffee powder, decoction, sugar, heat. Okay, skill of the manpower. You listed out lot of possible causes. So actually, you have listed 14 causes. So that is called brainstorming. Brainstorming is a simple but effective tool which can generate you a lot of possible causes in a short span of time. Guys, do you got it? It can help you to list out possible causes in a short span of time. So this brainstorming can be conducted, okay, in structured and unstructured manner. What is structured manner? For example, if there are 15 to 20 people in your team and you are conducting a brainstorming, if all the participants in the session, in the brainstorming, are allowed to speak one by one, okay, without neglecting anybody, without discouraging, scrutinizing, criticizing, dominating anybody, then that is called a structured brainstorming. That is, every participant must be allowed to speak, must be allowed to express their uh, knowledge. Because why they are in the team? Because they have knowledge about the particular process or the problem, or there may be some stakeholder who are highly connected with it, right? That is why they are present in the brainstorming session. So you have to ensure proper participation of all the participants. That is called a structured brainstorming. In structured brainstorming, nobody is dominating, nobody is criticizing or scrutinizing others. But what about the unstructured brainstorming? In unstructured brainstorming, okay, so you might have seen certain news channels. The reporters are dominating the speakers. Have you seen it, guys? Have you seen it? Especially that there was some reporter called Arnav Goswami.
Yes.
Yeah.
Public TV.
Yes. Yes. So he will be trying to dominate the entire discussions. We have seen a lot of times, right? So that is unstructured brainstorming. That is when you don't allow all the participants to express their views equally, and very few participants are continuously again and again expressing their views, speaking. And if anybody try to speak, they will suppress them, they will dominate them, and they won't allow. Okay, so this is unstructured brainstorming. So it is not always recommended that you have a structured brainstorming. Okay, so that every participants will be allowed to express their views. Okay, so who all can participate in a brainstorming? Only people with proper connection to the problem. They may be relevant stakeholders or people who are managing the problem or people who are facing the problem or people who are undergoing the problem, client, consultant, expertise. These people alone has to be part of this brainstorming session. Okay, the more the number is better. You can allow any number of people up to 15. But remember that if the numbers are more, it will be very difficult to handle. So you have to ensure that only relevant people with correct uh, information, knowledge about that process are present there. So if you are keeping irrelevant people and people who are unconnected with that particular issue, they will discuss different issues, they will discuss different matters, and finally the entire brainstorming session will be hijacked. Okay, it will be moved out to unnecessary focus area, out of focus to be finally say a final word. So you have to ensure that the brainstorming is conducted in a controlled manner. Then during the brainstorming itself, there is a possibility of connecting this Y-way analysis. What is this Y-way analysis? Some of you might say it as five-way analysis. Anybody using this in your company, guys? Five-way analysis.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
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 sir.
using, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may be saying a five-way analysis, but Y-way analysis is also correct because in Y-way analysis, what we are going to do is it is similar like brainstorming. You are going to frame questions like why, questions with why this happened, why this happened again, why it is not happening. So you are going to frame questions based on why, and you are going to use it until you arrive at the cause or at the root cause. Okay, so let us see it in detail. Who developed this? There was a man called Sakuji Toyoda, the father of Toyota automobile industries. Okay, he started it in 1930 and it became popular and being used by many companies in the 1970s, 70s after it was used in Toyota. Okay, so the process, the tool is very simple one. You have to frame the question using why and keep on asking until you arrive at the cause. Okay, this is how it starts. Suppose if there is a problem, okay, you can ask why this problem occurred. So you'll be getting another answer from your colleagues or from the subordinates or from the respective process supervisors or team leaders. So again, frame a question using the cause one. Then you'll be getting another answer. So frame a question using the same cause two. You'll be getting another answer. So frame a question using the cause why, the third cause, then you'll be getting another answer. Frame it, then you'll be getting the root cause or the common cause or the possible cause. Okay, so this is how you execute a Y-way analysis. Okay. So next we will see a small example. So actually the Y-way analysis shall be conducted along with the brainstorming. Remember, it is conducted along with the brainstorming. So let us say recently we had a meeting 3 years back, okay, in a site. Okay, there was a delay in the fabrication. So the client was complaining heavily about the delay in the fabrication. So in between they were trying to discuss and find out the reasons for the delay. So in between that, one of the site in charges said, "Sir, there was no material for fabrication." So immediately the client general manager asked, "Sir, why there was no material?" Okay, then our project manager said, "Sir, because the material was dispatched from Jamshedpur, it was dispatched late. It was dispatched yesterday only. Actually, it has to be dispatched 10 days before, but it was dispatched yesterday." Then the client manager asked why it was dispatched late. Then our manager said, "Sir, the material was not ready on time." Okay, actually we need different sizes of plates, so they were not ready on time. So why the material was not ready on time? Because the material specification was sent late, has reached the Jamshedpur plant late. Okay, then he asked why it was sent late, why it reached late. Yes, sir. Actually, our purchase department forgot, did not send the material specification along with the purchase order. So all of us know when you are sending the purchase order, you have to send along with the technical specifications as well as commercial terms and conditions. But in this case, the purchase department has failed to send the technical specifications, that is the material specifications. Then the client manager asked, "Why you have not sent? It is important, right?" He said, "Sir, our purchase executive missed to send it." How come he missed it? Why he missed it? Because he was new. He was deputed from accounts department. He was not trained. So in between a brainstorming, you could conduct a YY analysis and identify the possible cause. Okay, this is how you can use this is how you can use a YY analysis. Okay, so any questions, guys?
I think this why else still it can be extendable because why he was not trained. Those things also.
Yes, you can ask why he was not trained. Yes, you can keep on. So actually, it may get you to actually, if it is conducted inside the company, you can keep on asking. But here it is conducted in the client side. Okay, so for client, that is not enough. That is enough. That is enough for client. So we have to learn from that, that before deputing anybody from other department, you need to provide them sufficient training so that they don't uh, make errors. Okay, they don't make errors.
Oh.
So for example, if you take the YY analysis, okay, for a poor students percentage, you can keep on asking like, okay, so YY analysis can be conducted for any possible causes. You can identify the sub causes. What you can do, you can identify the sub causes always. What is a sub cause? Material has not arrived on time because of that fabrication was delayed as a main cause. So the sub cause can be identified using that. Okay, the sub cause is the procurement executive was not trained properly. Because of that, the material has not reached on time. But it doesn't sync properly, but the cause for that particular problem is this. Okay, the purchase executive was not trained properly. Okay, let us pull some simple example from the common man's life. Okay, one of my friend was driving at very high speeds at 120 kilometers in Monday morning. Why he was caught by the traffic police? He was fined 2,000 rupees. Why he was driving at high speeds? Anybody? Why?
Late for office.
Yes, he was. You are right. He was late for the office. Yes, why he was late, guys? Monday morning, why he was late?
Maybe wake up later.
Yes, very good. All of us are doing that, right? He wake up late. Yes, why he wake up late?
Yes, like
Was
the
so
day
tired.
before he slept later.
Late night.
Okay,
Technique.
suppose if you are going late to bed and if you have to get up early, what will you do?
You forgot to keep alarm.
Set to alarm.
Yes, you have to put some alarm. But my friend has put alarm, but the alarm didn't work. Why the alarm didn't work?
Because it was
Forgot to
not repaired.
forgot to charge the mobiles.
Yes, forgot to charge the mobiles or dead batteries. So the reason my friend was paying 2,000 rupees fine was he forgot to charge the mobile or he didn't replace the batteries in the alarm clock. See, this is how you can use the YY analysis. See, the ultimate beauty of YY analysis, you have to decide when to end the YY analysis. Okay, based on your process knowledge and your experience, you can decide when to end. Is this enough or you have to continue? And there is no restriction for the number of why questions. You can ask four, but the only thing is you can ask six, you can ask seven, you can ask eight. But the only thing is you should have arrived at the cost. That is the final thing which is important, not the numbers of why questions. Another important thing is nobody should criticize or dominate or scrutinize anybody's views. Okay? Always ensure that you ask relevant questions. If you ask irrelevant questions, no, then the discussion will be out of box and you will be going out of focus, and obviously the session will not be productive. So ensure that everything is in track. So you are going to get the required relevant focused output. Okay, this is how you can use a YV analysis. Now, okay, for example, I am giving you two books. One book is about the uh, one book is full of pictures, comics, interesting. Another one is the same comic written in text. Which one will you prefer? First,
With pictures.
pictures. See, guys, anybody else preferring textbooks instead of pictures? See, you are grown-ups, but still we prefer pictures, right? Why it is so? Because our brain is designed like that, guys. It is called cognitive learning. We like pictures by default. Our brain understands pictures quickly, images quickly, videos quickly. That is why we are more attracted towards pictures, images, videos. Okay, so if we are able to transfer, if we are able to put all these causes which we have collected from brainstorming and YY analysis in a picture format, it will be easy for the people and the top management to understand. Guys, do you get where I'm coming? So actually, whatever causes you have collected using brainstorming and YY analysis is in the form of a text, like a essay, para. It's of 3-4 pages. If you give it to the top management, they won't find it easy to read. It will be boring for them to read. So what we are going to do is we are going to convert that into a picture format. That is called cause and effect diagram or Ishikawa diagram or cause and effect analysis. Fishbone diagram, to be very clear. So we are going to develop a image like a fishbone. Okay, so using the same causes which you collected in brainstorming and YY analysis. So what is the speciality? What is the special thing about this fishbone diagram? In fishbone diagram, you are going to list out the cause under segregated headings. What do you mean by that? Suppose some of the causes may be connected with manpower, some of the causes may be connected with material, some of them may be connected with money, some of them may be connected with methodology, some of them may be connected with raw materials, some of them may be connected with accessories, some of them may be relevant to environment. So we are going to list out the relevant causes under relevant headings. For example, here there are around 52 participants. If I segregate them into different fields, manufacturing, quality, software, banking, hotels, industries, then
இவர்
that,
எனக்கு 8:15 டிஃபன் செய்ய சொல்லிடுறப்பா. சாப்பிட்டுட்டு 8:30 திரும்பவும் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்.
okay, sir, we will do it. Okay, guys.
Sorry,
So,
sir. Sorry, sir.
no problem. So, you will arrange different for you.
Sometimes it happens.
Okay, no problem, guys. Okay, so we are going to segregate into separate headings. Why? Because it will help us to understand things easily. Okay, for easy understanding, we are going to segregate the, for example, you may have collected 100 causes. That 100 causes are going to be segregated, listed out under different headings. So you know what is below the manpower, machinery, material, okay, money, or environment, or measurements. Okay, so this is how we are going to start. So how to start a fishbone diagram? So we will complete later. See, first we have to take a A3 sheet or A4 sheet or a Excel sheet and write down the problem. Then you draw a horizontal line. Then you write down the headings which is relevant to you, not to me, not to others. What is relevant to the problem must be written as a category headings. Okay, what I have written is an example, guys. See, it is just an example. You may write 10 headings, 20 headings. There is no wrong in that. But make sure all headings which are relevant, which are connected to the problem must be written. Suppose if it is a problem related sales, then you can write marketing, customer satisfaction like that. Incentives, you can write like that. So write only relevant headings. That is important. Okay, so then you have to connect them all by inclined lines. Then write down the possible causes and subcauses. Now this diagram looks like a fishbone diagram. Is it so, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is
yes.
why it is called fishbone diagram. A man named Ishikawa developed it. So it is also called as Ishikawa diagram. And apart from that, it, it puts all the causes of the particular problem into a pictorial format. So it is called cause and effect diagram. So fishbone diagram, cause and effect diagram, or Ishikawa diagram. Okay. So remember the headings which I have mentioned is just for example. You can have any number of headings, but make sure it is relevant to the problem. It is relevant to your process, relevant to the outcome. Okay, guys. Now let us see a simple example. See, there was a wrong delivery or a damaged delivery of a product, which, okay, for example, you have ordered, okay, for example, say some books, okay, you have ordered some 100 books for your uh, training program. Okay, actually, you have received the wrong books, or the delivery was delayed, or the books were damaged. So, what could be the possible causes? If you put it in diagram like this, it is easy for you to understand, right? If I wrote everything in the form of a paragraph or essay, no, it will be boring, guys, right? You won't find it easy to read and understand. Suppose if you take that kind of paragraph and essay to the top management, they will not be also interested in reading it out. So it is better you convert any such causes, problems into cause and diagram. So they will be also interested to look into it, and you'll be also able to explain and sort out things easily. So what could be the possible causes? Materials, methods, machines, environment, measurements, personal. They are listed out the categories. So under the materials, suppose wrong packed material was used. If wrong packing material was used, then obviously the books might be damaged. Okay. So wrong product received from supplier. So suppose the supplier which you are giving order, he himself has not verified whether he is sending the right books. He has received it from some other book vendors, publishers, and he has sent it without checking the titles. So that could be the reason. Then method. So the description about the particular packing or book could be misguiding. Okay, he might have read the wrong description, so he might have packed it wrongly and sent the wrong books. Then what are the missionaries? So there is you need a truck or some kind of vehicle to transport it, right? So that may be a wrong one. If you are using an open lorry for transporting books, then obviously it's going to damage the books. Suppose if the vehicle is broken down in between, so there is a possibility of delay. Suppose if the labeling of the packing is not done properly because the labeling machine was not doing the work properly, it labels wrongly. So because of that also you may get a delayed or late delivery. Then when it comes to environment, while the book is being transported in a vehicle, there was a heavy rain. So the vehicle has to stop for nearly 2-3 days. So because of that delay may happen. Suppose the conditions are too humid, okay, that will also affect the books inside the vehicle. Then measurement. Suppose that a supplier has calculated that it will take only 4 days, but actually it has taken 7 days. So you are unhappy. So that is why you get the training books like. Then people, suppose the people are not trained properly, they may mishandle the books. They doesn't pack it properly. And there are also possibility of human negligence, human carelessness, recklessness. So this is how you are able to list out all possible causes into a diagrammatic format for easy understanding. Guys, do you get it?
Yes, yes.
Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. So any questions? So you can use this for any process, for education, for hospital, for hotel management, for manufacturing, for I know many of the quality and manufacturing people will be already using it. So you can use this in educational terms also. You can use it for educational institutions also. Why the results were not good. Materials, methods, machines, environment. You can write it up. You can use in hospital. Why there was a low turn or low footfall of people. You can use it for stores, supermarkets, hypermarkets. You can use it anywhere, guys. Banks. You can easily find out the possible causes. Okay. Is there any specific direction of arrows? It should be always pointing upwards. Okay. The main arrows must be pointing upwards, and you can write it. You can do this one on the left hand side. For example, there is no wrong in writing this side also, but it doesn't look like a fishbone. So it is better you write it like this side. You can keep on writing all the possible causes in this direction, so that the other causes can be written on this forward direction. Okay.
We won't be writing any solution inside the fishbone diagram.
No, man, no. We are just
Okay.
going to see. This is step one of the analyze phase, the seventh step of the Six Sigma methodology. Because we are listing the possible causes only. Got it? We are not worried about root cause now. See,
Okay.
this is what we are concerned about, man. Actually, so you must always remember this thing, guys. What is the step? First step, listing the possible causes. We are in step one only. We are in step one. Now we move to next step. Okay. So before that, we will convert our friend's problem. What is our friend's problem? Friend was late, no? We will convert that also into a fishbone YY analysis. Sorry, fishbone diagram. Let us see. There are tentative things. Okay. See, my friend was late for work. Imagine, just for delay to the work, you have so many causes, guys. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine it? See, we have sorted out into different categories of possible causes. So when you are getting early in the morning, when you are trying to get to the office, what are the process that will delay your work? For example, the breakfast was not made on time. Okay, you didn't get out of home on time. Car sharing was not done properly. Okay, alarm clock was not set properly. Then when it comes to equipment, guys, what are the equipments you are having in home which can delay your day? Guys?
Geyser not working.
Yes, geyser. Then bike. Then
Iron
Gas,
box.
Lift.
cooking gas is
cooking gas comes under materials.
Lift
But the
is
gas
not
stove,
working. Lift is
yes,
not
lift is
working.
yes, very good. Lift not working. Gas stove, if it is not working, it can delay the breakfast, lunch.
Or
Then
somebody blocked your driveway in the parking.
somebody that is manpower. Or somebody putting a car on your opposite to your car or vehicle, so you cannot move it. That is also could be a reason. Yes. Then
Tire get flattened, tire puncture, lights, tire.
tire. Okay, that is okay. That comes under the car, right? A car is punctured.
Yeah.
Okay, then what is the main thing which you need in the morning? First thing, you need water, right? For
No.
water,
Water
you
in
need
the
water.
tank.
Yes, how water will get into the tank?
Water pump not working.
Yeah, water
Electricity.
pump
There
is
is no electricity.
electricity comes under the consumables. The water pump not working is it is also a reason. Imagine if no water in the tank because water pump is not working. What will happen in the morning? Everybody will be happy, eh? So there will be a chaos in the home, right? We will be shouting, no water. So like this, you can list out all possible causes. So we include the alarm clock of my friend also there. Okay, then what about the consumables? You people said a lot of consumables, gas, electricity, milk, petrol. Okay, all this comes under consumables. If any of these things are all not available, that can also create a delay. Okay, then people, suppose if any one of your neighbors is quarreling with you on that day morning, you will get irritated, angry. Then you will be irate. You will be no more to go to office. Okay, you want to get revenge and take revenge in apartments. That is very common, right? So that may be the reason. Suppose your wife is appreciating you in the morning. That may be a reason for the delay. Or your husband is appreciating you on the day morning. Some debate, argument. That may also be the reason. So last Friday, your boss has given some statement about you. He has argued with you and you had some better experience with him. So because of that also, you are not interested to go to office, bored with the job. Okay, then your friend who said that he will come correctly to pick you, he was late. Suppose your children are not healthy. The children are maybe having some health issues, and because of that, you have to take it to the hospital. Or the children's school buses van may not be arriving on time. So because of that, also you have to drop them, and that may be the reason for the delay. So people may be responsible for it. People may be, I'm saying maybe. Then environment. So if you're driving on city, okay, you have to cross so many signals, traffic signals. If you are caught with red signals, obviously continuously in 10 signals, imagine red in 10 signals continuously. 20, 30 seconds or 1 minute in each signal, you will be delayed by 10 minutes. Suppose if road work is being carried out in the way, so traffic, toll gates, okay, then accidents happening, traffic lights, railway crossings, poor weather, raining heavily on the way, you don't have a raincoat, so you cannot travel. Suppose if there is a huge water stagnation, you have to stop the car. So all this can create a delay that belongs to environment. This is how you list out all possible causes. Guys, do you get it? Yes, no?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
See, imagine for some poor issue which we are facing every day, there are so many causes. So obviously your work problem also can be listed out with so many possible causes. So still we are in step one only, guys. Not we have moved to next step. Okay. So now we are going to the next step to identify the potential causes. So here actually the problem is very simple. The problem is alarm clock. So we are able to identify the root cause. Okay, now let us move to identification of potential causes. Is Amit there? Amit, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, today we will pull Amit. So he cannot escape. So what is how to find out the potential causes? We are going to find the potential causes using cause and effect sorting or impact matrix. What is impact matrix? You will see it. Okay, so let us check this. We are going to categorize the causes into 4 main headings. That is causes which you have high control, causes which have high impact in the process outcome, in the output, in the response. Nice, we got it. We are going to divide the causes, segregate the causes, classify the causes into 4 headings, 4 categories. High control causes, causes which can have high impact in your process outcome, low control causes, and low impact causes. Okay, now what we are concerned is about this high control and high impact causes and low control and high impact causes. Why? Because the impact of this causes is high on the output of your process. Okay, so let me say, for example, I am going to do an example. Let us say, where is Amit? Okay, Amit is a Amit is an important position in a company. For example, okay, Amit, don't take it seriously, man. Just for example.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so he is going to attend a meeting in Delhi. Where are you located now, Amit?
I am located now in Assam.
Oh, you are in Assam. Okay, he is having a meeting in Mumbai. Okay, his meeting is in Mumbai. So his company has asked him to represent the meeting, and this is an important meeting for the company. So the company is going to get $1 million project. If he attends it, then they will get the project. That's it. So simply he has to go and attend and put signature and have some simple discussions. That's the end of it. It's an important meeting. But that's a due date. So Amit was booked the ticket by the company, and the flight has to leave by morning 6 o'clock. So Amit House was nearly 30 minutes away from the airport. So he has to start by 4 o'clock. So he can go reach by 4:30 and he can get into the flight by 6. That's it. So Amit put the alarm. So what happened to the alarm?
Alarm battery is dead.
Alarm batteries are dead. So the alarm actually it didn't work, right? One clock didn't work. So what happened to the outcome? What will be the impact?
The impact is high.
The impact is high. Okay, so this is what we are concerned about. This high control. What about the control Amit had an alarm clock?
Yes. Yes, sir.
What would you say you are having less control? Yeah, it is your alarm clock, right? If
Yes,
you
sir.
want, you can. If you want, you can change the batteries. If you want, you can off the switch off the alarm. If you want, you can broke the alarm. Yeah. If you want, you can throw the alarm from your terrace. Nobody will ask. Nobody will question you. Yes, it is your alarm clock. You have very high control over that alarm clock. So the causes which you have very high control over it, and if you fail to control that cause, if the impact is high, then you have to look into those kind of potential causes. Okay, that is the causes which you may be having very high control, but if you fail to control it, the impact on the outcome of the process will be very high. It will affect your profit. It will increase rejections. It will increase the defects. It will create a worst customer dissatisfaction. Got it, guys? So you have to identify that kind of potential causes and address them first, correct them first, recommend corrective actions for that first. Guys, do you get it? Guys, do you get it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from anybody? Any questions? All of you are able to understand this high control, high impact causes?
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, now next one. Okay, this. Now, unfortunately, it is very lucky for Amit. Okay, the meeting was postponed to next week. So Amit company said, okay, guy, you are lucky man. The meeting is postponed next week. So next time also the same flight, 6 o'clock. Okay, so Amit has to start by 4:30, and everything was ready. So what happened in Amit home? Everybody put alarm. So Amit was ready by 4 o'clock itself. And when he came out, no, there was a huge rain. Yeah. So the area was it was a cloud burst. 20 centimeters happened in 1 hour. So only in Amit's areas. So there was no way he could reach the airport. So he had to miss a flight. So what about the impact of this situation now?
Low control, high impact.
Very good. Low control and high impact. So even though the cost may be different, the impact is same. So what you are concerned about the potential causes is you have to identify the potential causes which you have high control, and the impact if you fail to do so is high, and you have low control, and the impact of that particular cause is also high. You doesn't have to bother about. You doesn't have to worry about this too, because the impact is low. Yeah, it is negligible. It is nothing Nothing. It is not going to disturb the process output. These two things can impact the process. It can affect the profit, revenue, customer satisfaction, delivery date, okay, cycle time. It can affect like things like that. So we are concerned about this. So this is how you identify the potential causes. This is how you identify the potential causes from the possible causes.
Impact matrix.
Okay, this impact control matrix, okay, will help you to identify the potential causes from the list of possible causes. Okay, any questions from this, guys? Fishbone diagram and impact control matrix.
Say if we require to analyze all the possible causes in impact matrix.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. It is possible to?
All the possible causes are identified. If we have to analyze the impact matrix for all the identified possible causes.
You are going to put the causes into 4 categories. You are going to put the causes into 4 categories. Causes which have high control, high impact. For example, you have 50 causes listed out in brainstorming or cause and effect diagram. So first, bring it high control and high impact causes. You know what is controllable in your process, what is easily controllable in your process. You can control the workers. You can control the process. Okay, you can control how you train the people. You can control the maintenance of machineries. You can control the breakdown by doing the maintenance properly. Okay, for example, let us say in a institution, in a training institution, they are teaching mathematics. The students' performance are poor in maths. Okay, the students are performing poor in maths. So what are the reasons? See, actually, the reasons may be, first, you have to look at the high control, high impact reasons. The faculty teaching methodology, the pedagogy which they are using to teach. Then the lesson planning. Then the students' attendance monitoring. Then the continuous assessment system, which helps to assess the students. Then whether the faculty training and development is done properly. Then academic mentoring. See, all these are high controllable causes. But if you fail to do it properly, it will affect your output. It will create wrong performance in mathematics. Okay, so like this, you have to identify the high control, high impact causes. Why you are segregating it separately? Because the 2 important factors are high controllable, high impact and low controllable, high impact causes. The one in the red, it has the potential to kill your outcome response. So if you control it, obviously the efficiency of a process increases easily. The problems in your process is eliminated easily. Okay, so first you have to focus on this. How you can identify it? For example, if there are 50 causes in the cause and effect diagram, the fishbone diagram, there are 50 causes. So you are the process owner. You are having process knowledge. You are a process expert in that particular field. You know whether this cause is controllable or uncontrollable. Whether this cause is having light impact, low impact, or high impact. Can you identify that, Amit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, somebody asked a question, right? Can you identify that? Yes or no? Who asked the question? Nobody asked the question, huh? Somebody might have asked it, right? So you should be able to segregate the causes first. Then you identify the impact. Then you take necessary steps, corrective actions to eliminate that kind of potential causes from your process. So the reason why students are performing poor, maybe because of poor teaching methodology, frequency of assessments. If it is more assessment tests are conducted, then also students will not perform properly. If there are very minimum number of assessment tests, then also students will not perform properly. If the faculty, if the professors are not mentoring properly, then also they won't be able to perform properly. Suppose if the attendance of the students are not monitored, okay, the attendance of the students, if it is not monitored, then also you will be able to, it will affect the outcome, the performance of the students. Suppose some students may not be attending the classes. Okay, so for them remedial coaching classes has to be conducted. So proper feedbacks, consecutive feedbacks has to be obtained. So these kind of high control causes, if you fail to do so, it can have an impact in the outcome, can have an impact in the performance of the students, can have an impact in the institution reputation also. Similarly, in quality, in hospitals, in manufacturing also, you could identify a lot of causes which you can control easily. See, for example, I used to say this example to students regularly in colleges. They are always worried about question paper and evaluation. See, whenever any student is going to write the exam, he will say, "Sir, I am worried about question paper. How the question paper will be set." See, whether setting the question paper is in your control. What is the level of control the student has on question paper setting? Guys, high, low,
Low.
Zero. No.
low. Then why you have to worry about it? Just focus on high control causes. That is, you can prepare for exams properly. You can collect the notes. You can attend classes. You can submit assignments. You can prepare properly. That is the cause. That is the area where you have to focus on, because that is where you can have high control. If you fail to do that, that also will create a poor performance. So for us, we need to, people in industry and organization, we need to identify in the areas where you have very high control. Okay. And if the causes are not controlled properly, it is going to kill your outcome. You have to look into those causes. That is in the red. Then what about the one which is in the blue? It is also having high impact, right? So you have to take some risk mitigation actions. That is, in order to control the risk, you can have some emergency plans to handle it. You can have some emergency plans. Sometimes it may work out. So during the COVID, all the companies have to be closed. All the schools and education institutions has to be closed. But somehow, except hardware industries, many people are able to develop a methodology of work from home, and the education and training institutions started the online training classes. So this is some kind of risk mitigation, okay, which can help you to reduce the impact. So that is how you use this cause and effect to identify the potential causes and eliminate the risk or reduce the risk because of the using corrective actions. Got it, guys? Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from anybody? All of you are clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So ultimately, we have completed 2 steps. Okay, that is, we have listed the possible causes and we have identified the potential causes. Using brainstorming and YY analysis and cause and effect diagram, we have listed the possible causes. Then the potential cause was identified by using the impact control matrix. Okay, now it's time to identify the relationship. This is not for you. Now we are going to see the scatter and correlation analysis. What is scatter plot? See, we have collected data. Okay, in the measure phase, we have collected data. And in the analysis phase also, we have collected data regarding the particular cause. Okay, so we have data in our hands. Now, it is time for us to plot the data and check the connectivity between the cause and the problem. For example, let us take a very simple, understandable problem and a cause. A person is having heavy weight. He is having obesity. That is, he is nearly 95 kgs, let us say 95 kgs or 100 kgs. and he is having an increased intake in the calories every day. A person is overweight and he is having an increased intake in the calories. That means he is eating heavily every day. He is taking more food every day. Is there a connectivity between the calories intake and the body weight? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
There is a connectivity between the calorie intake and the body weight. So similarly, body weight is the problem. More intake is the cause, is a root cause. So more calorie intake is a root cause. In order to find out the relationship between the or correlation between the cause and the problem, we are going to use a scatter and correlation analysis. What is a scatter going to do? The scatter is actually just running out. Scatter is a graphical representation. Scatter plot is a graph, yeah. We have seen graphs, right? Scatter plot is a graph. That is, you know the x and y value, so you plot it in the graph. So if it falls in a particular trend, we say there is a connectivity. Let me repeat it. The scatter plot is a graph. So you have the values of x and y axis. That is, x is the weight, y is the, x is the intake of calories, y is the weight. For example, intake if it is 100, weight is, intake if it is 1000 calories per day, weight is 80. Intake goes to 1500, weight is 85. If it 2000, weight is 90. So we are plotting the x and y points in the graph. And if the point shows you some trend like this, you can see there is a trend, right? That is, all the points seems to lie in a particular line. So if this kind of trend is seen, if this kind of pattern is seen, we can visually confirm that there is a connectivity between the calories consumed and the weight. So scatter plot will help you to confirm the calories, the cause and the confirm the relationship between the cause and the problem, the effect. Okay, so we are plotting the points in the x and y axis. So it helps you to inspect the possible relationship. Okay, it helps you to inspect the relationship visually. Okay, with the help of graph. Okay, so with the help of graph, we are able to inspect whether the root cause is connected with the problem, whether there is any relationship between the root cause and the problem. When we can assure that there is a relationship, if it falls in a line, if it falls in a trend, but if it follows a pattern, here you can see all the points. Imagine the point without line, it will be falling around the line. Okay, so in order to confirm that only, we have drawn a line. So this confirms there is a relationship between these calories consumed and the weight gain. Suppose if the points are scattered like this, then we can say there is no pattern. So there is no relationship. Okay, let us take another example. For example, instead of calories consumed, it is number of steps or number of meters walked every day. Number of meters walked every day. Okay, so if it is 1500 meters, then the weight will be more. If it is 4000 meters, the weight will, what will happen to the weight, guys? It will, if he is walking more, weight will reduce.
Come
So
down.
all,
Weight will come down.
yes, it will come down. So all the points will be like this. So now it is a negative correlation. So this is a positive correlation. This is a positive connectivity relationship, because when you increase the calories, the weight increases. When you increase the calories, the weight increases. Here, when you increase the number of steps, the weight the weight will reduce. In the case of here it is, right. When you increase the number of steps, here, the weight will reduce. So this is negative relationship or inverse relationship. This one is the opposite. When you increase the calories intake, the weight will increase. Here, when you increase the number of steps, the weight will reduce. So this scatter plot will help you to find out the relationship between the cause and the effect, or cause and the problem visually. Cause and the problem visually. Okay. So you can do it in different fields. For example, take a bank. So they are trying to plot the monthly loan approval as a number of branch visits to see the trend. Okay. So whether the branch visits are improving the monthly loan approvals. So if there is a connectivity, it can be seen in the plot. Then, for example, take a software field. Plot number of software bugs to the lines of code to identify the pattern. So the software bugs can be related with the lines of code. Suppose the coding lines are more, then probably there might be a more software bugs. Similarly, in manufacturing, suppose if you increase the production speed, the defect rate also may be increasing. If the plot says so, then obviously there is a connectivity. Then logistics and supply chain. If you delivery between delivery time and distance, so if the distance is more, the delivery time is more. Okay, these are some. This is how you can identify the connectivity between the cause and the problem, or cause and the effect, using a scatter plot. But let us go to correlation analysis. What is correlation analysis? In correlation, we are going to confirm the same connectivity with the help of numerical value. Okay, it is a statistical measure that helps you to find out the strength of connectivity between the cause and the problem in terms of numerical value, quantitative. In scatter plot, you are just looking visually and you are confirming. In scatter plot, you are just looking visually and confirming. Okay, it is like just looking at when you go to the doctor, no, he will just look at your tongue and say you are anemic. That is scatter plot. Just looking visually, you are confirming certain things. But again, what you will do? Go and take a test. Go and take a blood test. So the blood test report will say the red blood cells level are low. So scatter plot is just like the doctor looking at your tongue and saying you are anemic, eyes and saying you are anemic. When he asks you to take the blood test, you will be getting data. Based on that, you are deciding what is the level of anemic you are having. Right? So that is what correlation analysis says. So in the correlation analysis, we are calculating a data called correlation coefficient. Okay, so the value of that correlation coefficient will range from -1 to +1. The value of that correlation coefficient will range from -1 to +1. Now we will go to that, then only people will be able to listen. So this is the formula for calculating the correlation coefficient. Got it, guys? So what is this n? N is the number of data you have. For example, you have collected the data for 30 days about that person who is about 100 kgs and eating more calories every day. So 30 days means 29 days. So n is 30 minus 1. X, what is x? X is the calories consumed. X bar is the average of the calories consumed. Sx is the standard deviation. What is standard deviation? You have a formula for standard deviation also. This is the formula for standard deviation using the same x and x bar. Okay. So you have to calculate the Pearson correlation coefficient. Okay, using this formula. No need to worry about this. You can do it in Minitab, guys. No need to worry. So you calculate the Pearson correlation coefficient. So now the R value can lie between -1 to +1. This is +1, this is -1. So what do you mean by the R value? The R value describes the strength of relationship between the problem and the effect. Cause and the effect. The root cause and the effect. What is R, guys? R is the correlation coefficient. It describes the relationship strength. It describes the relationship strength, okay, between the problem and the root cause. It describes the relationship strength between the problem and the root cause. So, for example, you are calculating R. The R value comes as 0.8. So, there is a strong relationship between the problem and the root cause. Suppose if it is -0.8, then there is a negatively strong relationship. Then suppose the R value seems to be 0.4. There is a moderate relationship. If it is minus 0.4, negatively pair moderate relationship. Suppose if the R value is 0.3, then it is poor. Suppose if the R value is minus 0.1, so it is very poor in the negative terms. So that is how R value helps you to determine the relationship between the problem and the root cause. Okay, now I am going to ask you certain questions. Okay, what is the connectivity? What is the connectivity in this diagram 1?
Positive.
You cannot say simply positive because you have a lot of strong, moderate, weak. You have to say it very specifically.
Direct proportionate.
Strong. It is strong.
Strongly correlated. It is strongly correlated. Okay. So strongly correlated. What about this one, guys? What about this one?
Negative.
Negatively strong.
Yes, strongly negatively correlated. Strongly negatively correlated. So strong positive correlation, strong negative correlation. What about this one? So you can see the Pearson correlation value and you can say it easily.
Positive but poor correlation.
Yes, strong, poor positive correlation. Poor positive correlation. What about this one?
Poor negative.
Very good. Poor negative correlation. Okay. What about this one, guys? What about this one? Are there any pattern is there? No pattern. What about this one?
No correlation.
No correlation at all. Very good. No correlation. So this one is parabolic correlation. It doesn't. So this is how you could find the relationship between the cause and the problem using a scatter plot and the correlation coefficient. So any questions, guys? So there is a question for you. You can answer this. Which one of this is not a cause for the poor joints? Which one?
Temperature shading cluster.
Which one is not a cause?
Customer complaint.
Yes, very good. Customer
Customer.
complaint. Customer complaint is not a cause. Okay. Customer complaints. Okay. Cause and effect diagram is also known as
Both Ishikawa and both Ishikawa and
Both Ishikawa
B
and
and
both
C.
Fishbone.
Yes, both B and C. Okay, guys, that's how we complete the analyze phase. So in the analyze phase, step 1 is listing the possible causes using brainstorming, five-way analysis, and cause and effect diagram. Step 2, you are identifying the potential causes. That is using the impact control matrix. Step 3, you are trying to find out the root cause and sufficiency factors. So you have hypothesis testing, which you'll be learning in green belt and black belt. In yellow belt level, you'll be using the scatter plot and the correlation coefficient. So base scatter plot is for visual identification of the pattern. Correlation coefficient will help you to identify the strength of relationship in a quantitative manner using a formula that is called Pearson correlation coefficient. That's all about improve phase. Any question, guys? Any questions? Yes, guys, any questions from your side? All of you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you will go for a break and enjoy the understanding for 15 minutes. Then we will come back. Is it okay, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's join back by 8. Okay, so now we have completed the third and important phase. That is the analyze phase. In the analyze phase, we have the option to find out the possible cause, the potential cause, then finally we end up with the root cause. Okay. So the outcome of the analysis phase is a validated root cause. Guys, remember it is a validated root cause. Okay, now we move to the improve phase. So what we are going to do in the improve phase? See, guys, I want to ask you a question. We are dealing with only one thing in the define, measure, and analyze phase. What it is? Guys, we are dealing with only one thing. That answer is one word. We are dealing with this one thing in the define, measure, and analyze. What it is?
Problem.
Yes, very good problem. We are just dealing with problem alone in the define, measure, and analyze. So, see, if you look at the entire training program, nearly 80% of time is allotted for define, measure, and analyze. That is for dealing with problem. Why? Why, guys? Why?
If we know the problem only, we can able to sort it out.
You know the problem clearly, then finding the solution is very easy. That is what it means. That is, if you are able to understand, analyze, and identify the data about the problem clearly, then finding the root cause or finding the solution is as easy as walk in the park, cutting a cake. That is what we have done. So what we are going to do in the improve phase? In the improve phase, we are going to generate solution, then evaluate the solution, then you are going to select the solution, then you are going to implement the solution on trial basis. That is what we are going to do in the improve phase. So guys, what we are doing in the improve phase? The improve phase, we are generating solutions, evaluating solutions. Everybody is able to hear clearly, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the improve phase, we are going to generate solution, evaluate solution, select the solution, then implement the solution on trial basis. And after that, you are going to implement the solution on full scale basis. Okay. So now let us move to the steps which is present in the improve phase. In the improve phase, as I said, you are going to generate and evaluate solution. Then select and optimize a solution, followed by trial implementation. That is called pilot implementation of the solution. Okay, so actually for hello belt level, you don't have much slides in the improve phase. So you are having the minimum slides in the improve and control phase. Okay, so what is going to be the main outcome? The main outcome is a selected solution. The main outcome is a selected solution. Now, guys, I just want you to recall the outcome or main deliverable of the define phase. What is the main deliverable of the define phase, guys?
Approved
What is
project
the
charter.
Approved project charter and HLPM.
okay? Then measure phase.
Data collection.
Baseline performance.
Baseline performance.
Baseline.
Baseline performance. Then in the analyze phase.
Validated root cause.
Very good. Validated root cause. Validated root cause. Okay. So in the improve phase, your main outcome, main deliverable is a selected solution. So how to select, generate, evaluate, and select solution? So we are going to see this. I am going to just explain these tools overall. Okay. First, we are going to generate solutions using brainstorming, creative thinking, and benchmarking. Actually, I have added a slide for you. So this brainstorming is what we know already. So already we have used this brainstorming in the analyze phase also. So in the analyze phase, we use the brainstorming to generate the possible causes. I asked you a question, right? What are the possible reasons for poor taste of a coffee? So likewise, here we are going to list out the solutions which are relevant to the root cause, which could hamper, which could destroy the root cause. Okay. So when we are going to generate the solutions using brainstorming. Then benchmarking. What is this benchmarking? See, actually, we are trying to compare. See, in very layman's term, we can say benchmarking is just like copying. That is, suppose some industries, if you take the top 5 or 10 industries in any industry, suppose even in software industries or automobile industries or education institutions or hospitals. See, every now and then, the Times of India and many magazines used to list out the top 10 organizations in any field, production or manufacturing or education or hospital or hotels like. Okay, so what we do is we try to follow that industries which are doing best in the market and copy the solutions from them. So now you got successful solutions in your hands. So in benchmarking, we are trying to compare the best industry practices and you copy it. Okay, you identify it and you try to implement in your organizations. By doing so, suppose if you have a problem in the marketing, so what you can do, you can identify top 10 companies which are doing better marketing, best marketing. So if you collect the marketing process followed by them, you have 10 marketing successful solution in your hands. Is it right? Do you agree with me, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that is one way of identifying solutions. Suppose you are having problem in attritions, HR problem in attritions, attrition rate. So you can identify companies which are having very low attrition. Try to copy and implement that in your organizations. So this is one way of generating solutions. See, for example, here you can see from banking example. So if you look at the top banks, private banks, how they are improvising their response time in the core banking system. Other banks also can try to do it. Okay, then in when it comes to loan approvals, suppose the top performing banks have low turnaround time. That is, the loan processing time is low. So that is how they improve the performance of loan processing. So other companies, other banks, other financial institutions can try it and do it. Similarly, if you go for a manufacturing line, so if you look at how the assembly line efficiency of leading companies, you can try to follow that also. Similarly, if you want to improve educational institutions quality, you have to look at the top 10 or top 15 in Indian as well as international institutions like IITs, NITs. Okay, and you can go and compare international institutions. You can identify the student support systems, the curriculum formations, everything and all, and you can try to improve strengthen your core. By doing so, your performance will be improvised. So this is benchmarking. Okay, that is identifying the best business practices in the market and trying to identify which one suits you and implement that in your company. Then creative thinking. What is this creative thinking? See, it is a lateral or divergent or out of box thinking. So something which is not regular, which is imaginary, which is uh, irrelevant, crazy, maybe even sometimes it may be stupid. So that kind of ideas which are given by some young minds, then I can say Gen Alpha, Gen Z, these people are having different kind of ideas nowadays. So in recent Delhi protests, okay, they wrote slogans which are quite different, right? So that itself is a creative thinking. What do you think, guys? The slogans which they wrote are not of a traditional, conventional one. They wrote different kinds of slogans. Okay, so that is the outcome of creative thinking. So when somebody does it individually, we doesn't agree with it. We immediately will deny it. So you don't reject or neglect those kind of ideas immediately. Just give space for them. Just try to find out the feasibility of some ideas which may look crazy, out of box and imaginary. So later on, that ideas can be developed into a wonderful solution. See, there are so many examples, right? So in order to find out the customer loan eligibility, you are developing a mobile app using AI. So customer loan eligibility can be immediately found out from the data which is present in the mobile itself. Okay, customers doesn't have to submit any documents. Similarly, so you can have chatbots. Nowadays you have chatbots all over in order to reduce the customer executive loads. So that is a wonderful idea, right? So in missionaries, you can set some new tricks and tools to reduce the setup time and reduce errors in the setting. So like this, you can keep on including innovative ideas. So recently, there are a school in Kerala has introduced a robotic faculty teacher. So those are all creative ideas, right? Which can provide some path-breaking performance to the process. So like this, you can also find creative thinking where you'll be able to identify some fabulous solutions for your problems also. But the main thing is you have to give space. You have to accept imaginary ideas initially and find a probing committee, set a probing committee, find the feasibility. You have to do some base work. You have to agree and do some base work. You should be ready to invest some money. Then only creative thinking can help you to generate a lot of solutions in a most innovative manner. Okay, so this benchmarking, creative thinking, and brainstorming will help you to generate ideas. What about this nominal group technique? Nominal group technique and multi-voting will help you to evaluate the solution. It will help you to evaluate the solution and select the solution simultaneously. What is evaluation? That is, at the end of the yellow belt, green belt, and black belt, you guys are having examination. What is the purpose of this examination? What is the purpose of this examination, people? To
Evaluate the understanding.
To evaluate your understanding. So similarly, we need to evaluate the solutions which are listed out by the benchmarking and creative thinking. Okay. Okay, or Vikram, you have posted 80-20. What is that? I didn't get it. 80-20. Okay, so we will discuss it later. So nominal group technique will help you to evaluate the solutions which was generated by benchmarking and creative thinking. And later onwards, we will select it. So evaluation and selection will be done by the nominal group technique and multi-voting. So it's time to select the solution. So first we start with the evaluation. So we need to check whether the solution is suitable for your process, whether it can suit your environment, your organizational conditions, policies. After that only you have to select that for implementation. Okay, so in nominal group technique, it is like a brainstorming, guys, but it is a silent way of doing a brainstorm. That is, there is no great debate or argument. Here, all the solutions which are listed out in the brainstorming and creative thinking and benchmarking, okay, is listed out by the people, and all the participants of the nominal group technique are given a white paper. They are asked to give marks to the solutions based on their expertise. So the solutions which are generated in the previous step is written in a A4 sheet silently in a meeting, and all the members, all the participants are asked to give marks. Okay, then based on the marks which they have given, the solution which has scored the topmost mark is prioritized for implementation. So nominal group technique, there is no great discussion. Only some technical questions and queries can be raised. Apart from this, nobody is allowed to discuss or criticize or to scrutinize the solutions. Okay, only technical discussion about the solutions are allowed. In the meantime, all the participants are getting an opportunity to evaluate the solution and they can provide marks from 1 to 10. For example, here there is an example from a software company. Okay, so multiple software upgrades. Ideas are ranked for implementation. So for example, there is a team proposes a multiple software upgrades. Okay, so how to do it, how to do the software upgradation. So you can give the solutions one by one. So this all the participants are asked to give rank for the solutions. Okay, so from 1 to 10. So now all the scores are added and the solution which got more marks will be selected. So that is nominal group technique. So nominal group technique is a logical way of selecting the evaluating and selecting the solution silently. Okay, avoiding the arguments and debates. That is what you must understand. Okay, for example, a bank tries to reduce the transaction errors. So the participant can list out the ideas. What are the ideas? Okay, you can upgrade the server, you can improve the security. So you can give on and keep on giving ideas like that, solutions like that, and that can be decided based on the scores which you got. Similarly, workers propose way to reduce material wastage in a manufacturing company. There is a lot of material wastage, so it is actually increasing the production cost. So workers are giving waste. Workers are giving solutions to reduce the waste. You can rank them according to the marks they got, and you can implement them. So this is how nominal group technique goes. Then multi-voting. The name itself is different, right? The name itself says multi-voting, many voting. So the participants, the team members are given votes. So the solutions which are listed in brainstorming, creative thinking, and benchmarking are allowed for voting, and each members are given more than one vote. That is why it is called multi-voting. Okay, they are given 3 or 5 votes, so they can vote for different solutions. So if I am giving 5 votes to Amit and 5 votes to Jayalakshmi and 5 votes to Manohar, 5 votes to Arunodai and 5 votes to whom? Arul, Akash. They have to cast their votes for the solutions which they think is better for the company. Okay, so based on the number of votes each solution got, we will be finalizing the solutions. So that is how we use this nominal group technique and multi-voting for solution evaluation and selection. Then you have two tools. Actually, these tools will be taught elaborately in green and black belt. Just for yellow belt, actually, you have just only one slide. Okay, for yellow belt level. So next week, green and black belt guys will be learning in detail about these tools. So don't worry. So next we have design of experiments. This design of experiment helps you to evaluate the solution in a different way. That is, it is an approach to plan, conduct, and analyze to find out the interaction of variables on the outcomes. What are variables? It is the X variables. See, for example, last week we spoke about the coffee example. The coffee taste output Y is influenced by Y1 aroma, Y2 strength, Y2 sweetness, Y3 temperature hotness. And it is influenced by X, the coffee powder, and X2 milk, and X3 sugar, X4 temperature, X5 heat. What is the interaction between the X variables? That is what is the interaction between X1 and X2, coffee powder and milk? What is the interaction between milk and sugar? What is the interaction between heat and milk? So we have not studied that so far. So the interaction among the input variables can be studied thoroughly and the process outcome can be improvised. The process solution can be improvised. That is what DOE is going to do. Black beltians alone are going to learn this DOE. Green belt guys won't be learning this DOE. So similarly, simulation. Simulation is a virtual method. See, for example, you might have seen in cities, in malls, they are wearing this head mask and they are playing this virtual reality games. You might have seen it, right, guys? You might have seen this, right? They are wearing this Google and some kind of VR glasses, and they are playing. Okay, similarly, here also in simulation, we can try to replicate the solutions, okay, in a virtual manner, and we can try to predict the tentative outcome. So based on the outcome, and we can decide the implementation. So that is how the UOE and simulation will help you to evaluate the solution further. Then finally, implementing the solution on trial basis. Why you have to implement the solution on trial basis? Because if you implement the solution without testing, okay, you doesn't know how it is going to react in full scale basis. So first you go for trial implementation of the solution. For example, you might have seen this. Whenever a company is trying to launch a new software, even Microsoft or Mozilla Firefox, they will release a version called alpha or beta version. They will say it is a beta version. Have you seen it, guys? Beta version of browser, beta version of uh, MS Office, beta version of the Windows
Android.
platform. Yes, Androids. Yes. So that is actually pilot implementation. Similarly, once you have selected the solution, you have to go for trial implementation. For example, in a manufacturing, you can implement the solution on trial basis. Okay, in a small sector, in a small plant area, in a small line. Then you collect data, how to reduce, then you collect data regarding cycle time, defect percentage, and productivity rate. If only this data is satisfying your goal in the defined phase, you have to select it for implementation. Otherwise, reject it. Otherwise, reject the solution and go for next solution. Similarly, in IT field, okay, suppose if a company wants to improve the workflow, okay, they are trying to implement new agile workflow tools like Jira. Then obviously they have to collect the data while they are implementing on trial basis, like sprint completion percentage, work closure, and total team satisfaction. So if only this data is satisfactory, you have to implement the solution on trial basis. Otherwise, drop it and go for the next solution. So that is how you have to implement the solution on trial basis. Similarly, in healthcare, a hospital is trying to implement the barcode system. So they have to look into the some of the data. If these data are satisfactory, then only they have to implement on full scale basis. Otherwise, they cannot do so. So this is how you have to go ahead with this improve phase. Then finally, you have one more tool called FMEA, failure mode and effect analysis. FMEA will help you to identify the failure modes that is present in the solution. So before implementing the solution on full scale basis, you have to implement the solution on trial basis. Now after that only, you have to allow the solution for full scale implementation. Okay. So this is how you have to generate the solution, evaluate the solution, select the solution, and implement it on trial basis as well as in full scale basis. So remember, brainstorming, creative thinking, and benchmarking for generation of solutions, for evaluation and selection, multi-voting and nominal group technique, and for optimizing and other things, DOE and simulation. Then for trial basis, you go for pilot implementation. Then again go for FMEA, failure mode and effect analysis, to evaluate the solution. Continuous evaluation of solution will help you to filter the errors or filter the failure that is present in the solution, so that the solution will be successful for long. Okay, so now we move to the control phase. What's happening in the control phase? In the control phase, we are trying to make sure that the solution is successful for long term. In the control phase, we are trying to make sure that the solution is successful for long term. How? We are trying to implement certain control system, control measures to keep the root cause under control. So for example, A man goes to a doctor. A man goes to a doctor, and the doctor asked him to take various tests, and he found he is diabetic. So he prescribes a lot of medicines. Whether the doctor will just leave with medicines alone once the sugar was under control, what instruction will the doctor give to the person? He give to the person.
Do not intake sugar anymore.
Okay. Apart from that,
Diet,
Uh,
walking.
Exercise.
Medicines on right time.
okay, exercise, very good. Then
Medicine on right time.
medicines on right time. Then
Food intake on right
And
time.
regular checkups
intake,
for diabetes
regular
increment also.
checkups. Then that is exercise, lifestyle, food intake, diet. He will. Why he does mention the diabetic is in a is diabetic has been controlled. Then why the patient has to follow it?
To sustain.
To
Keep it
sustain that,
controls.
yes, very good. To sustain the successfulness which the person has achieved as a result of medicine. Medicine is a solution. So, because of that medicine, the person has been cured out of diabetic. But if he wants to maintain his health, he has to follow proper diet. He has to have a strict life exercise and proper lifestyle. So that is what we are doing in the control phase. We are trying to implement certain control measures to eliminate that root cause, to prevent that root cause from creating a similar problem. If the patient is not following proper diet, exercise, and lifestyle, he may get the same diabetic once again. So, if you are not having a proper control system to keep the root cause under control, the same problem will come once again. So, we are trying to prevent the root cause from creating the same problem by implementing certain control measures. So, now after that, document everything, hand over the process to the owner. So, the main outcome, the main deliverable of the control phase is the control plan. Guys, what is it? Control plan. So, you must have a plan to monitor and to develop a control system to keep the root cause under control. So what are the tools that is available? Okay, first you have control charts, OKs, and control plan. So the control plan you have a lot of elements like documentation plan, okay, reaction plan, risk mitigation plan, okay, control charts, okay. So especially for yellow belt participants, we are able to give the basics of you are going to learn about the okay, that is the main thing. What is a control chart? The control chart is a graph. It helps you to monitor the stability of the process. So after implementation of the solution, your process will be stable. That is, the errors that is happening in your process will be less. That is what you mean by stable. So whether that stability is sustained for long term, so you have to monitor it regularly. So control charts will help you do the job to monitor the stability of the process. That is what control charts will do. So below the control charts, we have 7 types of control charts based on the type of data. What are the types of data we have, guys? Yesterday we learned it. What are the types of data?
Discrete and continuous data.
Yes, very good. For continuous data, you have 3 types of chart: X bar chart, X bar R chart, X bar S chart, and IMR chart. For discrete data, you have 4 charts. For defects, it is C and U. For defectives, it is NP and P. You have 7 types of charts. So using the charts, we'll be able to monitor whether the process is in control or not. Okay. Similarly, for example, let us see a small example regarding the student dropout from education institutions. See, recently there was a survey from the government that there was a considerable reduction in the dropout of the students. Okay, so the students dropout has reduced from 5%, 12 to 5%. Earlier it was 12%, now it is 5%. So what are the control measures that must be taken to sustain the dropout? First, monthly review has to be conducted of students who are at the risk of dropping out. So suppose if the students' attendance are low and the grades are not good, that kind of students has to be immediately counseled so that you can avoid the dropout. Because students, if are not coming, then that itself is an indication they are going to drop out. Then the faculty has to be assigned as a mentor for every student. Some faculty has to mentor every student. They have to assess their attendance, absenteeism, then they have to assess their performance and all. So proper records must be maintained. So like this, you can keep on adding many control measures. That is like improving faculty performance, reducing students' complaints, improving library service, improving admission process, improving placement training, then improving laboratory equipment, infrastructure. Okay, all these things can help you to reduce the sustain the students dropout percentage which you have achieved. That is, the students dropout percentage has achieved from 12 to 5%. You have achieved a very good dropout rate. So in order to sustain that, you have to implement lot of control measures in education field, in hospital, in manufacturing, wherever you go, you need to implement certain control measures in hospitals. Okay, so this X bar chart, control tests, control charts help you to monitor those things. It helps you to monitor. Suppose if more rejections are happening, then immediately it will be indicated in the control charts and immediately you can investigate and inquire what is the reason behind that and you can take some corrective actions and bring the process back to normal. So that is what this control charts will help you to do so. Control plan consists of, as I said, documentation plan, risk mitigation plan, response plan. Okay. Then POKI. What is this POKI? So we will come to this. POKI. We have three types of POKI, guys. One is warning POKI, control POKI, and shutdown POKI. What is this warning POKI? See, when something is wrong, something wrong is about to happen, you are given a warning. Suppose if you are writing the password incorrectly, you are getting a message, password is wrong. That is a warning POKI. That is a warning POKI. Okay. Similarly, suppose please mute yourself while you are speaking on the background. Okay. Similarly, you can have a lot of POKIs. Suppose if you are not wearing the seat belt in the car and you started driving, what will happen?
It
Guys,
will
what will
give
happen?
warning continuously.
Alarm.
Yes, it will give
Alarm
an
will be
alarm.
there.
It will give alarm. It will sound. It will warn you. So that is warning POKI. That is, it tries to prevent a mistake from happening. It tries to prevent a mistake from happening. Okay. Tries to prevent a mistake from happening. That is called warning POKI. Suppose if you are not, if you have not closed the door properly, a symbol will be glowing in your dashboard. So that is also a warning POKI. Okay, so this kind of warning POKI. Suppose if the vehicle is not loaded properly, or if the vehicle, for example, recently we have some two-wheelers. Suppose if the side stand is not removed properly, then it gives a sound, right? It gives some kind of indication, or it doesn't allow the owner to start the vehicle. So these are all okay. So warning okay. Suppose if you are having low fuel, it gives a warning in the two-wheelers and four-wheelers. You are getting a warning, right? So this kind of warnings will help you to prevent mistakes from happening. That is why it is called Pokyoke. Pokyoke is a Japanese word. Okay, is a Japanese word, okay, which means mistake proofing. So like this, we can implement a lot of mistake proofing techniques in warning areas. Okay, for example, similarly, if you are entering something in the online, see, for example, if you are entering the age If you are trying to enter it wrongly, it will give a pop-out. It will indicate in red. For example, you are filling the ITR form. Okay. If you submit it, if there is something wrong, it will be indicated in red, right? Please check the following details. Have you come across it or not, guys?
Yes.
That is a warning okay, because it tries to prevent you from doing something wrong in the form of warning. Tries to prevent you, warn you, okay, and avoid that mistake from happening. So try to prevent something from going wrong. Okay, in the form of warning, it gives you a warning. See, for example, you can have a lot of examples like this. See, if you are trying to cross a railway track, there are signals, right? The signal, if the signal is on red, it indicates that the train is about to come and you don't have to cross. It is a warning. Okay, so this is called warning okay. Then what is a control okay? It prevents you from doing that mistake. It prevents you from doing it in a wrong manner. It will force you to do it correctly. See, for example, nowadays they ask you to change the passwords. Okay. See, if you try to set the password, they will say you have to put passwords with capital letters, with numerical values, with special case characters. So they control you to make a strong password so that nobody will be able to hack it easily. Okay. So similarly, here you can see, here is a control okay. That is, instead of just a signal, if you put some barricade, you put some gate, railway gate, nobody will be able to cross it. So while the train is coming, nobody will be crossing and it is absolutely safe. The gain is 100%. Okay, so this is control okay. Similarly, you could see, you could have seen in the old TV and VCD and PlayStations and set-top box, there are different colored cables and different colored slots. Have you seen it, guys?
Yes.
Imagine, actually the colors will be white, red, and yellow. Imagine if there is no colors, what will happen? Everything is white in color. The slot as well as the cable. What will happen? Do you know which one is for which slot? You don't know that, right? It's big confusion. So obviously, what will happen? You'll be trying to do a trial and error, and sometimes you may damage the component. So to avoid this kind of things, you need to provide a proper control okay, to prevent mistakes from happening. Then we come across this shutdown okay. What is this shutdown okay? See, for example, if you are trying to put the password incorrectly for more than 3 times in internet banking or in mobile banking, what will happen? Yes, what will happen, guys?
Block the IT.
Blocked. Yes, Vikram said. Yes, it will be blocked temporarily. So why it is doing so? It thinks that somebody is trying to hack your account. So it prevents from logging in. That is called shutdown okay. Suppose in high-rise buildings, you might have seen. Suppose the building catches fire, and all the lifts will be disabled immediately. Why? Because people will be using lifts and they will be caught inside and there will be fatality. So avoid that, they will shut down the power to the lift so that people should have to use only exit emergency staircases only. Okay. Similarly, if you go to laboratories, if you look at certain machineries, they will be interlocked. Okay. That is, if only the safety guards are on, the machines will start working. Okay. So that kind of techniques, mistake proofing technique, has to be installed in your process. This will prevent mistakes from happening in your process, and it will prevent accident, it will prevent failures, it will improve your process success rate. Okay. So like this, you can add many okays. See, for example, this is also okay. For example, if you look at the second example, the stove. Okay, in the first one, stove A. Are you clear which burner is for which knob? Do you have any idea? It is quite confusing, right?
Yes.
You don't know which knob is for which burner. But look at stove B. So you have a control to do it correctly. You know which burner is for which now. So you are able to do it correctly without any error. So these are all even POKs. Similarly, if you take this, if you look at this drilling machines, okay, here you can see, here there is no POK. So the execution of the job, the operational efficiency depends upon the operator's skill. But if you take the second one, there is a stop POK, control POK. That is when the operator drills to sufficient depth, okay, this particular stop rod will touch the surface. So the operator will stop drilling. It is far more advanced. When the stop rod in the limit switch just touches a surface, a buzzer light will glow. So it will indicate that the particular depth has been drilled. So the operator will stop. So this is how you can implement the POKs as many as possible to avoid error from happening in your system. So these are all banking POKs, software and manufacturing. So in banking, suppose, let's say, if an application form is filled incorrectly in the online, a pop-up comes in a red ink, in a red color. So that is warning POK. Suppose if you are trying to transfer fund and if there is insufficient fund, it will not allow. That is control POK. Okay. Suppose if you are not submitted the KYC documents, you cannot get the loan. That is shutdown POK. Similarly, in manufacturing, let us go to manufacturing. Third one. See, suppose if the machine operator places a component incorrectly, so buzzer sound will come indicating something is wrong in the setting. Okay. Similarly, if you have a jig, okay, the jig will ensure that the component is correctly placed. Then only it will allow to start the machine. That is control POK. Suppose if a safety guard is not in place, the machine will be stopped automatically, or the machine will not be allowed to operate. That is called shutdown POK. So, so this is how you can implement POKs as many as possible. Okay, in your systems, so as to prevent this from happening, prevent errors from happening. Okay. So suppose if you go to library, nowadays libraries are also systemized. Suppose if you are returning the book late, they will identify and they will put you some fine, right? So that is control POK. That prevents you from, or sometimes you are borrowing books from library. They send you messages that your due date is on. That is warning POK. Okay. Still, if you are not returning it, when you are trying to submit it, they will ask you to give an explanation letter and they will get some fine. That is control POK. Okay. And after that, if you are still not submitted the book, if you are not returned the book, then they will bar your account from taking books further. That is control POK. So like this, you can add on POKs wherever you need to keep your system safe and sound from mistakes. So after you have implemented the control systems, then you have to document everything. Why you have to document everything? Documentation will help you to keep your process data and it will serve as a reference for all the people who are trying to do a similar project. So it will serve as a reference document. Even people who are trying to do similar projects in other departments also can do it. So remember, you have to document everything from define phase to measure, analyze, improve, control. Everything should be documented. All the tools, the data collections, everything must be documented. Then only it will be useful. Then afterwards, you have to arrange a meeting with the process owner, the process head, and explain him everything about the changes which you have done to the process. And you have to submit the entire documents which you have collected. Okay, changes you have made, training plans, training manuals, SPC, statistical process control measures, then updated flowcharts, procedures, a protocol, SOP, standard operating process, everything, safety procedures, everything must be communicated. The response plan, reaction plan, POKs, whatever you have done should be communicated to the process. Then you have to close the project in the format. That is the details about the project and the reason for handovering. Whether you have closed the project because of completion. Everything must be done. You have to close the project. And after that, you have to gather your team, review your team performance, recognize, provide awards and rewards for people who have worked better, and encourage them, have a party, and close the project. Move to the next one. That's all about the control phase. Any questions, guys? Any questions?
No, sir.
So that's it.
No.
So that's the end of the control phase. So guys, remember, so Six Sigma is a problem solving methodology. And I believe all of you have remembered everything what we have learned in different ways. Outcome is a project charter, approved project chart. Measure phase, baseline performance. Then analyze phase, validated root cause. Then the improve phase, selected solution. Okay. Then in the control phase, a control plan to keep the root cause. So we have 3 steps in each phase. And if you follow the tools and the steps properly, you'll be able to execute it easily. Whatever your problem it is, it doesn't matter. If you follow the steps and use the proper tools, you'll be able to resolve it easily. So if you have any difficulty or if you need any practical help, you can contact us anytime through Mr. Prabhakaran. Okay. You can get a number from him. You can contact us. He will support you, guide you. Okay. Any other questions from your end, guys? Or we will close the session.
Sir.
No.
Yeah.
No, sir. Thank you.
So for green Beltians and black Beltians, you are going to have sessions in the coming weeks also. For yellow Beltians, I believe this will be a last session, right? So regarding exams and all, you can contact Mr. and he will guide you. Yes, Vijayalakshmi, you want to add anything? Yesterday you had some queries. You want to add anything?
No, sir. I think you had given 1 or 2 examples in education area as well. I think more of it will help me relate better so that, yeah, as we go forward, a little bit here and there relativity to what you call like the edtech also, the domain. So better understanding and relativity will be there. So as of now, most of the concepts are something which I do understand. So yeah. So I've been a trainer and also a faculty for a longer time and into research and everything. So it's not alien to me, but in terms of relativity, as we go deeper into the subject, it might help me better. So I think you have covered today that much. Thank you.
So you are in a black belt or green belt or yellow belt level?
So black belt.
Oh, then you have a lot of things to learn in the coming days. You have another 4 weeks. So no need to worry.
Yeah, that is why. So if the starting concepts, if you can relate it a little bit, as I go forward, it becomes easier for me. That's why yesterday I mentioned it.
Okay, that's it. Nice.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys, if you need any special, if you have any special requests, you can just put forward. We'll try to incorporate that also. That's what Vijayalakshmi do. So we will try to incorporate as much as possible. We will try to incorporate the freshers as well as experienced guys. So this is a generic platform of incorporating all levels. Initially, the first 2 days of training session will be like that only. So you don't have to worry that my platform is not addressed. If you just ask, we will try to incorporate. Okay, guys. So I think that's end of today's session. With that, we will wind up, guys. So we will meet next week. So if you have any queries, don't hesitate to reach back to us. We'll be there to support you. Okay, guys. Bye. See you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. See you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Good night, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, sir.